Hey, if you're thinking about moving to Babcock Ranch, then you're not going to want to miss this video. 6 unexpected costs of living in Babcock Ranch. Yes, we're going to be showing you all those hidden costs, and make sure you stay tuned to the very end because I know the last thing we're going to talk about, I promise you have never heard of. So make sure and stay tuned as we unveil it all. So the first unexpected costs you need to know about moving to Babcock Ranch are the property taxes. Now, we have here what's called a CDD fee, and this is a shocker for a lot of people moving from out of state because this goes with pretty much any new construction community you're going to find in Florida. So the CDD fee is a bond that the developer takes out from the county to pay for all the infrastructure, the roads, utilities, etc. That bond actually gets attached per home site or per unit for 30 years. So our best equation for estimating what your property taxes are going to be, including the CDD fee, are take your home price and times that number by 1.7%, and that should give you a pretty good estimate. Now, here's some tips on how you can get that property tax number reduced. Number one, if you're moving to Florida full-time, definitely apply for your homestead exemption. That will definitely save you a few $100s up to $1,000, again, depending on the size of your property. And the second thing is very little known, and that's called portability. So portability is a whole nother thing that I can't really explain, but basically if you're moving from Florida, inside of Florida, from one place to another place in Florida, you may be eligible for a tax reduction based on the price of the home you used to live in and what you sold for. Again, it's a very complicated equation, but definitely make sure if you're moving from within the state of Florida, check out portability. So point number 2 of unexpected costs of moving to Babcock Ranch, and that's a scary water bill. So I've heard this story over and over. People, they move in here and their first water bill is like $700. So let me explain exactly what's going on. We're in front of a new construction home right now, and when builders put the sod down, when they first lay that lawn, they're gonna water the sod about 45 minutes a day for that first month. Now, they're doing that for a good reason. They want your lawn to root very well and be strong, but what you need to understand is that once it roots, like, you don't need to keep running that water. Now, the water coming into our properties, you've got 2 lines. One goes to the house and the second goes to the irrigation. Now, another thing people don't like is that we are using reclaimed water. So people are like, why do we get charged for reclaimed water? We do, but you know, there is a great sustainability aspect of that. But what I want to basically caution you all is as soon as you get in your home, you need to adjust that your irrigation settings. So in the rainy season right now, like we are in middle summer, I would turn the irrigation system off right away before you even get into the home and before you switch over the water bill, because you're getting lots of rainwater right now in summer. Now, in wintertime, you definitely need to irrigate the lawn because it does get dry in the dry season. And what I like to do is about every zone, I run for about 5 minutes, 3 times a week, early in the morning, and I found that is enough to keep the lawn nice and green. But make sure as soon as you get in the home, you adjust that lawn setting because, yeah, the water, this is the craziest utility bill that you're gonna get here in Babcock Ranch.
All right, so this is part 3 of unexpected costs. So closing costs, big deal. Everybody's concerned about it. What are they going to be? The most important thing to know about closing costs out here at Babcock Ranch is that they can vary based on the builder. They also can vary whether you're buying a resale or a new construction home. Let's focus on builders for just a minute. All the builders have different closing costs associated for different reasons. For instance, communities. Some communities have higher or lower closing costs. Sometimes it's the time of the year, whether or not the builders offer incentives or not. Do they have inventory they're trying to get rid of? Would they like to try to have you use their lender? There are a lot of ways that you can control these things. The most important thing to know is to have us take a look at the closing costs for you. We can estimate that up front. It's important. When you go out and start looking for a home, you want to know up front, what's the cost on this house? How much is it going to cost me to get into it? That includes your down payment, type of financing you're going to use. Is there any kind of a lender credit toward those closing costs? Things like that. So that's the kind of thing that we can help you with to begin, to try to take a little bit of that uneasiness out of the first part. Also, as I mentioned, focus on the fact that resales are sometimes less expensive for closing costs because you can negotiate the seller to pay some of those costs. Finally, you've got lenders involved. Most of the builders here have their own lenders that they work with. So they'll give you an incentive to use their lender. Sometimes that's a great deal, oftentimes it is. Sometimes you'll find that you can get a better deal by using an outside lender. So it's important to compare those closing costs. Again, we can help you with that. We have lenders that we work with. Plus, we're very familiar with the builder's lender, so we can help you put two packages together, compare them side to side, and see what your closing costs are going to be. So that ultimately, when you sign a contract, you know you've signed it for the best deal for you and the most affordable way to close that house.
Hey, we hope you're enjoying this video. If you are, do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell. Team John Garutti is always releasing new content on what it's like to live right here in Babcock Ranch. And at any time, you can give us a call at our office, 941-216-6494. Give us an email, info@swfloridarealestate.com. We'd love to hear from you. You can go to talkbabcockranch.com and schedule a video call with one of our team members to learn about the town. And make sure to check out our new website, babcockranchNewHomes.com. We've got an awesome blog about all different aspects of life here in the ranch. And we've also got some real-time pricing, real costs of what it takes to buy a home in Babcock Ranch, so check it out. So part number 4 of unexpected costs of moving to Babcock Ranch, and this goes for all those aspiring business owners. Yes, Babcock Ranch is a great place to open up a business. Obviously, this town is booming. There's still so much more to come. But when I first heard about the leasing prices here in places like Crescent Fee Commons and the new center coming across the street, which is Shops at Yellow Pine, quite frankly, I was like flabbergasted, and it just blew my mind. Me personally, I have some retail spaces rented for some other businesses I own up in Sarasota, Venice, and Bradenton, which are way more established areas than Babcock Ranch. And the rates I'm paying for commercial leases up there are literally about 20 to 30% less than what Babcock Ranch is offering. So yeah, it's kind of mind-blowing. So if you are thinking about opening a business, yeah, it's a great idea, but you definitely want to make sure you look into what these commercial lease rates are. And I would definitely recommend hiring a real estate agent that specializes in commercial leases. If you need an introduction, I actually have a good friend of mine that's all she does is commercial leases. So just let us know if we can help you out there.
Okay, this is part 5 of the unexpected costs of living out at Babcock Ranch. Sticker shock with groceries and some services. So I've got a couple of kids that are in college, and when they come home, they're here at Publix probably twice a day, and that's not an exaggeration. I get shocked when I see the cost of the stuff that they're buying up there, or even just simply comparing the cost of a loaf of bread or a gallon of milk. It is a little bit more expensive here at Babcock Ranch than it is just a few minutes off site. And that kind of goes back to what John was saying in that previous segment, where the cost of commercial and retail leases are a little more expensive. These retailers and supermarkets pass those costs on to us, the consumer, and we do pay a little bit more. But again, it's a convenience. That stuff's literally 5 minutes from our back door. You can get here by golf cart. Otherwise, if you really want to save a few bucks, you can stop off in Fort Myers or some of the other local communities. We've got grocery stores, hardware stores, home improvement places, just about anything you need off-site for a little less expensive. But again, Babcock Ranch is all about the convenience, and everything you have here, you don't need to leave Babcock Ranch.
All right, and the last and final unexpected cost of living in Babcock Ranch, perhaps the most juiciest and the one you haven't heard about, and it's called the Community Enhancement Fee. So what's this all about? Basically, one day after you buy your home, you're gonna sell that home, right? And the Community Enhancement Fee is basically what I like to call an exit tax. So when you sell that home one day down the road, even if you're selling that home and moving to another home in Babcock Ranch, you're gonna have to pay 0.25% of the sale price back to the developer. And of course, that is to continue enhancing the community. So we feel at Team John Garutti that it's better you know about all aspects of life here in Babcock Ranch. The good, which you know we love living here, but hey, there's also some maybe bad, things some people might consider bad, right? So we want to just share all that stuff with you, and we do that in every one of our videos. So We hope you found good value in this video. Make sure to check out all these other great videos we have on our channel here. Tons of content, and we would love the chance to work with you. Team John Garuti, we've sold over now 200 homes in Babcock Ranch. We are the #1 team when it comes to new construction sales. So at any time, go to tourbabcockranch.com. You can book a video call with one of the teams, get acquainted with us. If you're ready to come into town and want to start looking at homes, go right to tourbabcockranch.com. You'll meet one of my team members right here at Founder Square, and we'll start giving you a tailored tour around town. And of course, anytime, drop us a phone call, 941-216-6494. You can email us, info@swfloridarealestate.com. We are happy to help, and we would love the opportunity to work with you, and we hope to call you neighbor one day.